Them being selfish led you to your victory. Them being who they were and you seeing them for who they are, realizing that I'm not here to change anyone. I'm not going to hope that you shift your energy. If you're coming to me in Don Juan energy, charismatic Casanova type of energy, a player, I'm hearing girls as players too. Even then, it's not exclusive to one or the other. If you're meeting up with someone who's in player energy, the best thing that they could have done is isolate themselves or stop investing in you so you could remember your worth, your value, remember that you have the Midas touch. And in this adversity or in this feeling of restriction actually was meant to lead you to a very auspicious time. 10 you're selfish, 9 you're jaded. What is that song? That's what I feel like I'm looking at them like. And it's funny because I feel like I'm finally clearing out past life energy and my relationships and what I'm here to do and what I'm here to learn from relationships, how I'm meant to own my divine power, love life. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. Bless your heart. How you had to learn heart healing through it. Prosperity has been, let yourself sparkle and shine, has been part of your divine life purpose. This is what you're here to do. To crave relationships and to crave consistency and communication and connection, then to realize that that craving leads you down roads that are Don Juan type individuals, and then when you tune back into the heart healing, into your own inner story, because I also feel to you taking on the story of another, maybe inherited codependent patterns from parents or from the family tree. Ultimately, you're meant to understand that for it to be so painful for you that you're like, fuck this, I can't do it anymore. Their energy showing up as the Hermit, the Lovers, and thank God, okay, the Fool, major arcana here too. Thank God they're not giving you what you needed, because the truth is you would have accepted one fruit when you deserve the entire apple tree. I'm just seeing that. Even I find the apples fallen right to the core or rotten right to the core. I'm undoing what I've been conditioned to do. Even when I despised or didn't understand in my parents or my mother or my father, like how could they sacrifice themselves or this type of thing. You're meant to understand it, to break it free, to break free of it. Divine life, purpose, love life, bless your heart, own your divine power. To recognize that if someone's no is your ultimate yes, that this is not leading you to feel powerless or not enough or a victim of circumstance. This is actually meant to remind you of the prosperity that lies within and being with that person and who they really are, not who you've seen them to be or not who you're trying to make them be 222 based on limited information that you have. You're leaning into, you get the great source of power after that. Past life healing, past life's never going to slow me down. Even not letting this. Yes, you may have links to this person. Yes, they may feel like a soulmate, and they could have been. Yes, they may be all of these things. You have to break past the barriers, and those barriers are also labels. Barriers come in the form of labels. How we label someone being something to us more, I'm not even going to say the word, the 2 words anyway, rather. I feel like this is actually meant to mirror to you. How you're meant to mother and nurture yourself with Cancer energy, critical junctures. Are you going to repeat or create new? It's like Dark Night of the Soul. I feel like, and I was even saying this in one of my personal readings I was filming, it's like the thing that we're avoiding the most, which is the spiritual healing, the inner work, etc. We think that it's going to unearth all this thing, but we're carrying it with us regardless. So either we keep carrying it until we do the inner work, or we don't, then we just carry it forever. Or it's like we're going to have to go through it at some point, and if anything, it feels like I'm going through it right now. So I might as well lean into it and embrace what this is meant to teach me and recognize the future energy too, and recognize what my no is so that I can start leaning into what my yes is. You know what your no is, start tuning into what your yes is, so then you'll have more discernment. Because a lot of the time we're focused on what we don't want, we'll align with it, and then what was it? Where did I pick up with it? God. Wow. God didn't deliver you a Don Juan. Well, didn't intend for you to forever be stuck to a Don Juan. The Don Juan comes to reflect the parts of you that feel like you have to prove yourself to be accepted, that you're in competition with others, that you have, it's healing rejection wounds at the end of it, at the core of it. So recognize that this person being jaded, selfish, annoying, insecure, all these things that you may be pissed at them for being, them being that way actually was able to reveal to you so you could align with a better future. Also, where there is no vision, that people perish. When you are not setting your sights to what your yes is, to what your future is meant to endeavor, letting go of whatever drama and adversity that this experience has unearthed, you're going to keep repeating it, either through constantly thinking about it, feeling like I'm not able to move forward from it, not able to move on. I'm not even going to be able to, even when I'm traveling or in my own journey or in my own, traveling being evolution too, not even just like literal travel. I'm still thinking about them because wherever I go, I take myself with me. I'm keeping it at the forefront. I'm keeping it at the surface. you have to start leaning into accepting what is, recognizing that yes, you may wish that they could have been different. However, thank God they weren't, because if you're wanting someone to be different, you know at your core they're not for you. And if you can recognize and accept that if I'm wanting them to change, or if only they showed up like this, it would be different, you're keeping yourself stuck. I have to focus on what I'm meant for, and that also turns into recognizing how this is of service to me, and it's not meant to hinder me forever. Very introspective. This is ultimately meant to teach your divine power. I'm sure some of you are like, I don't want to do what. We're here. We're here, Pookie. The second you lean into it, that's when the heartbreak really starts to dismantle. So you don't continue to find the same version of this, whoever this is, in everyone, or attract yourself. You know what I mean? Also, whatever you touch turns to gold, meaning you have to recognize how these are also lucrative opportunities for you as well. When it's part of your divine life purpose, maybe you're meant to help people break past the illusion and the fog of romance. Rose-colored glasses specifically. Living with rose-colored glasses in a way that it's one thing to see beauty in all things. That is the type of rose-colored glasses you need. However, when you know something ain't right with someone, that they stop texting at 8 p.m., that they're sketchy, but you're lying to yourself, that's the thing too. Why are we lying to ourselves and aligning with liars? It can all go back inwards, and you know what? There's power in that, because when we actually can take accountability and be like, okay, it's my pattern. I'm doing this to myself. That's why I'm attracting this in this relationship or this person or this situationship, whatever. That's when we can finally break free of it. You have the solution in front of you. I feel you've probably heard this type of message more than once. It pays off to release it. You either carry it with you, 707, or you free yourself from it. And freeing yourself from it, yeah, maybe it takes a few months, but what's a few months in the grand scheme of your lifetime? And if you don't figure it out now, and this is tied to past life, what makes you think you're going to figure it out in the next one? Let's take what we have here and recognize, all right, yes, it would be best for me to cut out gluten, because whenever I eat gluten, I blow up and I want to throw up and I get sick, you know? You can eat gluten sometimes, but then you'll realize when you free yourself from what you're allergic to, when you even start to dabble in it, your body responds even more intensely. It reminds me of when I was vegan for 6 months. I was a vegetarian my entire life. And when I was vegan for 6 months, stopped drinking dairy. When I started drinking dairy again, or having ice cream, those types of things, my skin freaked the fuck out. Oh, you'd think like, oh, I can get away with it. I can get away with having sugar more often, or cane sugar, refined sugar, whatever, because I never have it. Baby, your body's a temple, and your soul's a temple. Your soul exists in a temple. Don Juans do not belong in a temple. They belong on a dance floor, smoozing whoever's there. You're meant to study. You're meant to learn. Even learn through your frustrations, through dealing with someone who's clearly not listening to you, not hearing you. Even how you appear them to be, they're meant to show you more of yourself. Not to shut yourself down, not to cop yourself out, but to recognize your discernment, and how if you allow yourself to trust yourself in life, you will recognize that we don't live in scarcity, and we won't just take who we get because there's an initial attraction to them when we know on a soul level they're not actually a match to what we actually desire. Again, where there's no vision, the people will perish. My mom's been saying that over and over and over again to me lately. Be grateful that they let you go. They set you free. Okay? Because you were meant for more than what they could have ever given you. And they showed that time and time again. Again, when we try to change someone, it's because we're trying to change ourselves. We don't accept ourselves too. Because if we accepted ourselves, we would recognize that someone is who they are because that's their journey, that's their path, and we wouldn't take it personal. You'd be like, all right, they have lessons to learn, and I am not meant to be wrapped up and entangled in the lessons that they're learning and how they're learning them too. Because if it's this hard for you to let go of them, imagine how hard it is for them to let go of their conditioned ways. And you may think like, oh, they can do this, they can do that. We could say the same about you. When I had to wake myself up like that, get my Virgo talking to me, I set myself free. I no longer was sitting here crying, I'll wait forever, or dwelling on what if about this person. Fuck that! What? Thank God there's so much better on the other side. Thank you for freeing me.